I don't know, Peter. I don't know what's going on. This is ruining my reputation. Good morning, Peter Franklin.
I don't have a clue as to what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't either. I've been drinking.
Okay. Well, it's early in the morning. Get the day going.
Get it going. Let's get it going. Okay, Peter, in New York City, good morning. By the way,
good morning.
I noticed in Punxsutawney they're getting a little frustrated because I think they've been hit with the same storms we've been hit. However, we missed both nor'easters that came up the last 2 times. This one of the snowiest Marches on record. Are you guys to the point where you're sick of snow, or doesn't it really matter in New York?
Yeah, neurotics are, I guess, but
Yeah.
it's no big deal, especially in New York. I mean, we are the concrete jungle, so it's not as if we have things like slush and mud and stuff like that. So we have it. Also, we got a little something called the subway. You know, you can't really say to your boss, I can't come in today because it's snowing.
Yeah.
What do you mean it's snowing? You're going by subway. So
well, and it probably was sunny and well into the 50s yesterday. So, I mean, you're getting a feel for springtime. So
yeah, and it's nice, and it puts everybody in a better mood. New York City is definitely a city that works on the moods of the weather.
I want to ask you, Peter Franklin in New York, what are your thoughts about, I know you're no fan at all of Governor Cuomo, but you have this Cynthia Nixon. It's really quite interesting to see Nixon versus Cuomo, that headline for the upcoming primary. But she's the Sex and the City actress and is running for governor in a primary against Cuomo. What are your thoughts on her?
My thoughts on it is I find it absolutely amazing that she's getting the publicity that she's getting.
Yeah, she's getting a lot, yeah.
I mean, she's really getting a lot, and so I've decided that if I'm going to run for office, I'm going to hire whoever her. I mean, basically, she's a nobody and a nothing who comes from nowhere. Oops. But, you know, all of a sudden, they're making her like a contender. She's not going to be contending against Cuomo. He'll have it wrapped up because that's his family business.
We're a celeb-crazed society, though. I do think that's a huge part of it. You say she comes from nowhere, and you're right, Peter, but she comes from Sex and the City, which is a big deal around these parts.
Yeah, that was a big show.
Well, now we know how you spend most of your free time.
Luna Park officially opening its doors for the 2018 season.
Yeah, that's nice. Now, let me explain something. Coney Island is an island. A lot of people don't realize it. Of course, it's about 4 feet off the coast of Brooklyn, but it really is an island. And, of course, once they start opening the amusement parks, like Luna Park, you kind of know the warm weather is on its way. It's time to start smiling. So here's what you do. You go out to Coney Island, you eat all kinds of junky food, you go on the rides, you throw up, and then it's a nice day.
Yeah, there we go. I do love Coney Island, though. I mean, it, by the way, is one of the stops on the tour of New York City that you'll receive if you take the tour with Peter Franklin.
Yeah, I even start. My new feature is I tell people to bring a bathing suit. I'm not kidding. Wear a bathing suit under your regular pants or under your skirt or what have you. And then when we get to Coney Island, I take them into the ocean, and it's really kind of neat.
Pretty nice. Rutgers University student lost her stylish $7,000 wardrobe because Air Europa misplaced her luggage. Bad situation.
Yeah, well, the reason that stuck in my mind was what kid travels with the $7,000 worth of clothing?
Good question. That's a very good question. But it's a different world today, right? City council members, member Fernando Cabrera submitted a proposal that would ban processed meats from city's public schools. That would mean bologna. Oh, my Lord, you can't take that out of the schools.
That's bologna.
What do you think?
Yeah, no, you know, when politicians run out of things to do, they start looking for it. And, of course, now we're going to be told that the processed meat is terrible and the kids shouldn't be eating it. Yeah, it's like anything else. I mean, it's in moderation. If you're going to sit and have 15 pounds of bologna, it probably isn't any good for you. But, I mean, banning it, you're starting to ban the very fun in life. What's more fun than having a bologna and cheese sandwich, especially if you put it on a bagel? Oh, I'm getting so hungry.
And it's me,
Peter. I want to ask you about this 30-year-old guy who in court receives a settlement for $96,000, and what he does next. I understand his inspiration, but what he does next is just idiotic, and it didn't end well.
Well, he goes to a motel in the Bronx, which is kind of famous. I mean, because it's a real sleazy place. I'm not going to give out the name or address because then everybody's going to start running to it. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it's just terrible people hang out there, and he gets himself a couple of prostitutes, and he shows them a suitcase that has $96,000 in cash in it. I mean, this is a real genius. So one of the girls calls her boyfriend, who comes rushing over with a big gun or a big knife or a big hatchet, and they, of course, take away the $96,000 for themselves. I mean, just how unbelievably stupid can you be? The way he got the money, by the way, was some kind of a settlement or something or other, so that's how he had it.
Did he get the money back?
No.
Oh,
no,
boy.
I have it here sitting right in the garage.
That's awesome. How about this interesting story? And maybe this is the future for schools. Kids carry backpacks. You never see what's inside. What if the backpacks were clear?
Yeah, well, that's, the idea is that they're not going to be able to walk around with a gun. First of all, I mean, New York City has 1 million kids in 1,000 schools. And I can tell you there's very few of the kids that are walking around with guns. So, I mean, it's kind of like an overdue kind of thing. But it's an interesting idea that the backpacks would be clear and you could see through them. So if the kid is carrying a gun, you would know it. You'll also know it if they have drugs, liquor, cigarettes, and everything else. So it's really another Big Brother thing. But, gee, that's really something, wearing a knapsack on your back that everybody will know what exactly you have in it. Interesting.
Yeah, and I can see it creating an issue if maybe this is just a popularity issue, but like if you have clothes or a teddy bear in there, people go, "Oh, what do you got? What do you got? That kind of clothing or that type of a stuffed animal."
They would make fun of them, you think?
Yeah, I could see that. Right. Or, for instance, if in gym class, if a young lady brings other garments to change into, I could see there being some uncomfortableness walking around with underwear in your clear plastic backpack.
Is that a jock strap in your right?
Exactly, yeah.
Mike says clear backpacks will be made of plastic and will never hold up. Maybe that's part of it. You got to keep buying them every semester. Peter, how about the politician in New York? One of the things we enjoy is the assembly is pretty much dominated by liberal Democrats from New York City. And oftentimes it's fun to kind of read some of the bills that were proposed out of the 5 boroughs for the rest of the state. Here's an interesting one. A politician in the city of New York has introduced a bill that would prevent smoking and what?
Well, you just not to have it at all, not even be walking on the street and smoking a cigarette.
You can't even walk with a cigarette.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, if it's those of us who find that it's distasteful, I guess it's not a bad idea, but, I mean, it's really Big Brother taking over.
Why don't we just make it illegal? Why don't we just make it illegal, Peter?
Yeah, well, that's probably going to be it. I got to tell you, the business with it in smoking in a New York City cab came really as a relief to most of us who are in that occupation, because normally, you say to a guy, put the cigarette out, you got a whole argument, a fight. But if you say, well, I don't care, but it's a law, so put the cigarette out, it saves us a lot of grief.
Yeah, they could arrest you. And then you get into a cab if somebody's been smoking, and because the lingering smoke. One more thing, I wanted your take on Stormy Daniels. And what are your thoughts on old Stormy?
She's a prostitute.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, she did not accept money. Trump offered her money, and she said, "No, I'm not a prostitute."
Yeah, she makes 30 movies. I mean,
she does make 30 movies.
Society all of a sudden, 60 Minutes, Anderson Cooper. I mean, it's just she's a sleazebag.
Yes. All right. I figured that
I'm
would
sorry,
be.
I hope she's not angry that I insulted her.
She's a big listener, Stormy is. Peter, I knew that would be your answer, but I just wanted to know. Peter Franklin, it's the Gabby Cabby. Gabby Cabby, it's Gabby.com. Best tour in New York City. It really is. Peter, thanks so much. We'll talk again real soon.